Hello and welcome to The Wire. I'm Janvi Sen, and with me today is Sudha Bharadwaj. She's a human rights lawyer who's worked a lot in Chhattisgarh, and now she's teaching at the National Law University in Delhi. And we're here to talk about something actually that happened yesterday on Republic TV and on Arnab Goswami's program. Arnab Goswami has leveled certain allegations based on a letter that he says you wrote. You have said that you did not write this letter, but just going back to what he's said, he's talked about you writing to some so-called Maoist leader called Comrade Prakash, and mentioning certain meetings that you went to and things like. Could you just talk about what happened? They called you for a comment as well. What they said.
Well, frankly, sometime in the morning I got a call from a Bombay number, and the person on the other side said, "Madam, I am speaking from Republic TV." And in the evening, I said, "Sorry, I don't participate in programs of the Republic TV," and I just switched off the phone. Rather, I just cut the line. So I really thought that I was being invited to a panel discussion on, Bhima Koregaon arrest or something like that, and I didn't wish to participate, basically because whatever little I have seen of Republic TV, I find most of the time they're shouting at each other all the time, and very little gets understood. But little while later, I was told by someone that other people had also been told that the Republic TV is airing something because they have got a letter written by me to some Comrade Prakash. You can imagine how shocked I was. Subsequently, I was sent the link and I had a look at the link. And I was really shocked because they were showing on the screen a typed letter in Hindi, which they claimed was written by Comrade Advocate Sudha Bharadwaj to Comrade Prakash, and they in which all kinds of allegations were being made. There was some talk of link with Kashmir, and that I was demanding funds. There was also a whole list of lawyers. Now, some of those lawyers I know, and they're very good human rights lawyers. Some of those I don't know at all. And those lawyers, and it was apparently I was calling them all comrade and giving some communist Maoist link to them. The first thing that I did was to immediately issue a statement. I have absolutely nothing to do with that letter. I do not. I mean, I don't know whether, first of all, such a document exists, because in the program it was never told where such a letter came from, or though I think in a subsequent program it was mentioned that security agencies or something. But this, I'm very, very clear that this is a fabricated, false and defamatory letter as far as I am concerned. It's caused immense personal and professional injury to me, and already I am getting tweets about it, and it's an incitement of hatred actually. And I have made it very clear I am going to take action. I have instructed my lawyers to issue defamation notice, both criminal and civil defamation against the Republic TV, and I intend to take all legal steps that are possible for me.
In the letter itself, that they are showing on screen, and they've quoted at large on their website as well. They talk about this one particular meeting that they say you went to in March 2017, where one of the lawyers who has now been arrested with relation to the Bhima Koregaon case was also there, and they said that this is some sort of proof that you were all involved in some sort of large conspiracy together. And there's a lot of this new terminology also, urban Nakshals, and then there's the whole Kashmir thing like you mentioned before. Why do you think this is being, why would Republic TV, if you say like it is fabricated, what is the point of then targeting certain individuals, of saying you would write this letter if they have no proof that it is anything to do with you? And plus these details that they've mentioned, like this event.
First of all, I am not clear what event is being referred to. Okay. Advocate Surendra Gadling I know for a long time. I know him for a very long time. He is a very well-known criminal lawyer, a Dalit lawyer, and because many people who have cases in Gadchiroli also would have cases in Rajnandgaon or in Jagdalpur, many of the times lawyers meet each other, and in any case, both he and I are part of a lawyers organization called Indian Association of People's Lawyers. He is the General Secretary. Our President is Justice Suresh, retired from Mumbai. and I'm a vice president. So there might have been many occasions on which we met. But what I think is probably the immediate reason for for this kind of attack on me personally, I feel is that because on 6th of June, when all these activists were picked up, including Surendra Gadling, I think probably ours was the first reaction, because I actually addressed a press conference on the 7th of June in the Press Club of India on behalf of the Indian Association of People's Lawyers, and along with a number of other lawyers. There was Nithya Ramakrishnan, there was Ravi Kiran Jain, who is also the president of PUCL, there was N.D. Pancholi, some other lawyers were also attending the meeting, and there we made it very clear that this kind of attack on lawyers has become very common nowadays, actually. If you look at Advocate Chandrasekhar Ravan, if you look at Advocate Upendra Nayak, who's only recently released on bail from Orissa, there's Advocate Vanchinathan now, who has been arrested in the Sterlite cases. So there is a concerted attempt at now, attacking lawyers. And that is probably basically to ensure that people whose, causes are unpopular because they're in an anti-displacement movement, or they're Adivasi under trials, or they have been, they're political prisoners, or whatever, for whatever reasons, people actually they will not get anybody to represent them. And this is a really frightening thing, because this goes far beyond just targeting individuals. It is actually skewing the justice system totally for vulnerable and marginalized people. So I think that is one reason, because they found that the lawyers were actually organizing, and not only, and in Nagpur, in fact, the Nagpur bar came out with a resolution against the arrest of Surendra Gadling, because the FIR in which he was arrested, he was not mentioned in January. In April, there was a raid made on his house, even despite the magistrate actually refusing an order of to permit them to search. And then April was the raid, and June he is arrested. Now, if there was something so dangerous that you found from the raid, I mean, it's difficult to explain the gap of time. And I think this, these lawyers, I mean, the idea of lawyers actually being able to stand up to this kind of thing was not very palatable. The other reason which I do feel is that recently the IAPL had conducted a fact finding. They had gone to Kashmir to talk to the lawyers of Kashmir, because lawyers there in the district bar associations are finding a great difficulty. They are finding it very difficult because the PSA is slapped on lawyers, Public Safety Act. They are finding it difficult because sanction is not granted for them to prosecute human rights violations by the security forces. They are also facing all kinds of difficulties in defending citizens in a conflict area. And IAPL had gone there to document those things, to discuss with them, and in fact they went around several districts, and they would have shortly come out with their report. Though I myself did not go on that trip, but the IAPL had sent a fact finding team, and possibly this explains why they felt the need to say, oh, this is some kind of an illegitimate connection with Kashmir or something like that, whereas it was absolutely an issue of profession. How do lawyers carry out their profession in a conflict area? It's a very difficult thing. So I think these are the basic reasons why perhaps, were the maybe the immediate cause for this very strange attack. Because, a lot of lawyers supposedly have been named by me as comrades, and so on and so forth. I know some of them are very good human rights lawyers, some of them I don't know at all. So maybe it's a way to malign the lawyer community and people's lawyers in general.
Another thing that he mentioned right at the start is one of these conspiracy theories that's been doing the round now. It was mentioned also in the Bhima Koregaon case based on a letter that they found on, allegedly found on Rona Wilson's computer, which is this assassination attempt on the Prime Minister. And they have somehow decided to link this letter, they say you wrote, to that as well. Do you have anything to say about this so-called plot that they are bringing up?
Well, if there was indeed such a large conspiracy, it's very difficult to understand why only the Maharashtra police should be going after it, I think many people have already commented on the nature of that letter, which seems extremely dubious. This letter, I am personally stating, and that was the very first thing that I did, was to issue a statement. And that said a Rajiv Gandhi like situation, this says a Kashmir like situation. Now how they expect, I mean, a person like me who is a practicing lawyer, who has been a trade unionist, we have been very patiently, representing, organizing, doing conciliations, appearing in the high courts, and what do they mean by Kashmir like situation? I have absolutely no idea. And I think basically the idea is to, it is to put such a big allegation that, because all the people who have been arrested, they have they have decades of work behind them, many of them. It would be very difficult to touch any one of them and, to say that this person doesn't have a public credibility, a public record. But the moment you put out this, huge allegation, then people are silenced. It's just to give a chilling effect. And I think we really need to question that, if indeed such a big conspiracy exists. But it's surprising. I mean, all the time since I've seen that TV, I've seen that link, I've been publicly available, I've issued statements, I'm on the telephone. Nobody has approached me to interrogate me, to question me about this letter. So I really do not understand what kind of investigation this is, which is being done by Republic TV, in my opinion, it's basically a way to just silence people, and particularly those who are asking difficult questions, uncomfortable questions.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. We'll end there today.
To receive instant updates on all videos from The Wire, click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. Pay to support independent journalism. Click the link in the description and choose the amount you want to pay.